think it's become very obvious and prevalent as time going on that the American correctional system is broken. And I've seen it firsthand through having inmates that I've worked with here. You know, they get parole, they get released and go home, and then they come back. And then they go home, and then they come back.
The recidivism rate is higher than anyone wants it.
If a person doesn't have any skills to fall back on, then they resort to what they know.
You do a crime, this is where you go, there's no conversation.
I think that the U.S. prison system is still deeply entrenched in punitive measures. It is intended to almost break down that human being, and not physical punishment, but almost a spiritual punishment.
I think we've gotten to a place now where we realize that cannot be the way.
There definitely needs to be a solution.
And this is not correcting itself. So what can we do to fix it?
I distinctly remember when I started my career in 1990, I looked out of a window, and one of my bosses at that time had a lot of time in corrections and had said to me, "You believe that you can change them." And he spoke about the inmates, and I naively said, "Yes, that's what I'm here for." And he said to me, "You'll learn. You can't change them." So my house sits outside city proper. And you'll see it's very different once you hit city proper. It's almost like a line of demarcation, and you can begin just to see the blight. If I don't put my blinders on my way to work, it's a sad entrance into my work, because all it does is reaffirms that we're not doing the right thing. And corrections becomes the recipient of that. And so I look at this, and how do you not think you're gonna come to jail? How? How are you not gonna come to jail? First of all, I wanted to kind of thank everybody for coming here. We have some pretty good news, and which is an advantage and a really big piece for SEI Chester. So I'm going to turn it over to Jordan real quick and kind of have a discussion. I want it to be like we usually do, without blame. Just kind of look at the problem, figure out the objectives, any obstacles that we may have, and let's get it moving. Okay? Go ahead, Jordan.
Sure. So the project focuses on identifying Scandinavian correctional philosophies and practices that might be adaptable to the environment here at SEI Chester. So the first part of the project, we're going to send a group from the facility over to Scandinavia for the summertime to learn and to work side by side with Norwegian colleagues. Then when we come back.
So this project is fairly unique in that it is a bottom-up project. And so we've tried to let the correctional officers develop this intervention based on their experiences over the summer and really take ownership over this process.
Så samlet sett så jo et av de hovedspørsmålene vi søker å besvare, det jo hvorvidt grunnleggende prinsipper, verdier, praksiser i skandinavisk kriminalomsorg kan brukes i større eller mindre grad i en amerikansk kontekst.
If it's successful, it will show that these core values in Scandinavia can be used in other places to redefine corrections itself. And in doing so, create an opportunity to move beyond traditional approaches to corrections and instead inject a bit of humanity into that experience, both for the staff and for the inmates.
Fundamental belief system that at the end of the day, these men will go out and be in our communities. And at the end of the day, they have to be a better human being than they first came in. Corrections historically has not had the best track record. And so,
if you treat human beings with dignity, respect, and humanity, by God, you're gonna get a better product when you get out. That's just what I believe. I do.
So let me ask you a question though. So what do you think is going to be the easier change to make? The structural changes or the cultural changes?
Structural.
Easy. That's
Structural.
That's definitely.
cultural is going to kick our ass. Yeah.
I think culturally, the U.S. is a lot different than Europe, Norway, Denmark. The way we grow up here, the way people interact with each other, the way the correctional system is set up. I think that would, culturally, I think it would be a little more different to get people to grasp these ideals and to implement them. I don't think it's impossible. I like for it to work. I'm willing to help make that happen, but I think it might be a bit of a challenge, yes.
Over here, everything's very structured, very regimented, very controlled. And I kind of expect to see things a little bit more open. I've heard of the concept of, the incarceration itself is the punishment. There should be no more punishment further than that, which isn't exactly the case over here many times.
Alrighty, so, and excuse me for the noise, but this is where we have, we hope to do the changes of Little Sweden in this housing unit. This is the housing unit that we refer to CA, Charlie Alpha. So we have an opportunity to take these men and kind of immerse them into the project that we're gonna have in here.
Especially the men that's in the system, we hope that we can begin to move, towards a more just and humane way of treating people, in American jails. I think that the worst thing that could happen is that the people who are the staff are pessimistic about it. Like they don't really want to see it work. If that's the case, then it won't work.
I'm looking at you.
Here, average lifespan of a CO is 59. Yeah, we have higher rates of PTSD than people in the military inside of these jails.
I find it frustrating, and you kind of maybe can tell by my voice. What are we doing that is working? What are we doing that is working? So if we have not been doing things that are working, why are you so skeptical about something that may work? What? You get your tire fixed if it's flat. So I view it as you want me to continually ride around with a flat tire, but I have an air pump. Doesn't make sense. The time is right for criminal justice reform.
Welcome. Hi, Synnøve.
Matt.
I'm gonna hug you. Welcome.
You made it? Good to see you.
Den første fasen som vi går inn i nå veldig snart, den handler jo om da at hele gruppen fra Chester skal komme til Skandinavia og være her i 3 uker. Så den første uka er en litt sånn krasjkurs, teoriuke, hvor vi skal på en del foredrag, vi skal på en del fengselsbesøk, sånn at de får sett litt bredden av hva slags type fengsler som er her.
So, do you guys want anything? There's a coffee place around the corner. I can take you down there. And then we're just doing Burger King for dinner if you guys are hungry.
I truly am excited about it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's a great opportunity for our guys here. I think it's a great opportunity for us to learn from a different culture, to see, obviously they've been doing something right for, for a minute now.
Everyone is ready now? I'd like to welcome you all. Welcome to Norwegian Correctional Service. We are educating prison officers on a university college level. 2-year education, paid education.
De virker veldig engasjerte, og de virker veldig lærevillige og åpne. Noen er sunt skeptiske, og det synes jeg på en måte bare er bra. At ikke de bare skal reise for å ta og sluke alt rått. Så de virker som de i hvert fall er veldig, veldig innstilt på å reise for å lære og for å gjøre det til sitt eget.
I think they're excited, but also don't really know what they're in for. I think for many of them, this will be an experience unlike anything they've had before. And the challenges that they'll face when they come home will also be very unique.
Are you good?
Yes.
This is my playground, as I like to call it. This is the place where we practice. We practice the use of force, but we also practice communication, because we like to solve situations by using communication. So
I'm a massive skeptic to this entire project in general. Like, I came into that being right from the get-go. One of those reasons being the numbers. We have a lot more inmates than they do. Their total inmate population is less, so 4,000 inmates compared to Pennsylvania alone is 40-some thousand, 50-some thousand inmates.
this scenario, Oliver is in a cell. He has a history of violence, and now they're just going to take him out.
How you doing, Oliver?
Fine.
Do you want to take a stroll out in the hallway? Maybe throw out some garbage? Just move your body?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Please don't kick in the door, okay?
What?
Don't kick in the door. Can't be out in the hallway if you kick in the door.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
Have you been doing something special today? Reading something or?
Been sitting in there whole fucking days.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. Take a step back.
Okay.
But it's nice to be out there, right?
Yes, it's nice.
Nice to get
try?
some movement.
Wanna
No,
sit
thank you.
Huh?
No, thank you.
Hey, Pedro!
The way they handle the inmates when they're agitated. For us, that's that is a huge no-go. Like being so close to, so they let him out after he was already agitated, let him out of the cell, and continue to be really close to him. In our corrections, that you do not want to be close. You wouldn't have let him out. You wouldn't have let him out.
Okay, you can't behave like that, okay?
You get my book back?
You will get the book back later, okay? But not now.
What's for dinner today?
Don't know.
You don't know?
I think it's fish. It's always fish.
Pedro! Get my book back!
Like I said.
Hey!
This is not allowed, okay? You have to relax. Get down!
I'm gonna fuck you up. Are you okay, Oliver? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
It was really neat to see how much time they spent trying to convince the inmate how to behave and redirecting him and so forth and so on versus the manner with which we would have performed the same task.
I actually think watching how they did their training, the way they played out the scenarios, it actually really struck me. I thought it was really interesting because that was one of the biggest questions I had coming into this, was seeing how they kind of implement those scenarios as opposed to the way we do it. All right, so would it be cool if we came down and show you guys kind of how we would run through the same sort of scenario?
Yeah, of course.
We do it.
Oh, great.
Sounds good.
Pedro! Hey, you got my book or what? Hey!
Yo!
Pedro!
Yo! Get away from his door.
What? He's
Get
got
away
my
from his
book.
door. I don't care if he has your book. Get away from the door. You're not supposed to hit the door. You know that. You gotta
He's
go back
got my
in your cell.
book. I borrowed
Go
it
back in your cell.
last week.
Go back
I
in
want
your
it back
cell.
now.
Is everything okay in here?
Lost your time of control. I have an
want my
inmate
book
not
back.
responding.
Pedro! Hey! Come on, Pedro!
I'm gonna
Give
tell
me
you
my
again.
book back!
Back away from the door. I'm spraying you. Back away from the door. I'm spraying with the OC. Go back in your cell now. Go back in your cell now. I'm giving you a direct order.
Hey, Pedro!
OC.
Yeah, we would.
Good job.
That's slightly more realistic as to how we would do it. If an inmate's not responding like that at that point, once I give him the verbal direction, if he doesn't respond, he doesn't follow the orders, he's going to be sprayed immediately.
And at that moment in time, they're not interested why the young man is upset or why, okay, Pedro has your book. Listen, buddy, I'll get it for you. We seem to work on that continuum at a much quicker clip. That continuum can be 10 seconds.
Yep.
It can be, Smitty, I told you to go lock up. That quick.
Might have been a solution for us as well, but it would be quite far away.
I can't imagine sending one of their guards. I would like to see how they would be able to interact with the inmates that we have in the same exact way, and see if they would think, hey, we could do this stuff over here, and be like, whoa, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's gonna work.
The practicum is very different from what I'm accustomed to. So I took a lot of notes, and asked some questions during the break. So I look forward to seeing more.
The management has a different perspective. They're looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at the broader culture, the larger environment. And the officers are thinking about how they can implement inside of the unit.
We can take them aside and maybe find out the solution. Why?
Officer to inmate ratio, money, population, culture. It just I don't think it'll work. I think I'm one of the only ones that it's like it's probably not gonna work. I think everyone else is like, yeah. So.
Welcome to Halden.
What is there?
Welcome to Halden.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome to Halden.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Halden.
Nice.
Is this a housing unit?
Awesome.
This is a housing unit with 10 inmates living here.
Wow.
He makes the dinner every day for the inmates coming from school, from workshops. They eat together here at 3 o'clock. What's on the menu today?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, oh yeah.
With Parmesan cheese?
Yeah.
Do you want me? We could stay. We can stay.
No problem.
Et grunnleggende prinsipp i skandinavisk kriminalomsorg er at det er selve frihetsberøvelsen som er straffen. Men individet mister ikke andre rettigheter eller muligheter som en følge av at man er satt i fengsel.
It's okay? Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Jeg tror hovedforskjellen mellom Norge og USA er at befolkningen, altså de som er på utsiden av systemet, har litt forskjellige syn på fengsel og kriminelle.
You know, there are people who work hard every day in America, who work 2 jobs, who go to school, who do everything that they can, who've never committed any crime, and they don't live so comfortably. So it's wonderful to see on one hand, but it makes me sad for some other people on the other, if I'm honest. Yeah.
I Norge så er det aksept for at vi skal prøve å hjelpe innsatte. Jobbe med rehabilitering, det er grunnleggende akseptert I det norske samfunnet. Det er ikke det fokus på hevn når det er begått en kriminell handling.
Since the correctional practices have been in place, they have been meant to be punitive. So not only the loss of freedom, but your conditions of confinement will teach you that you never want to come back.
Og jeg tror mange i USA tror at det virker. At hard straff virker. Og behandle folk tøft, at det virker. Men det virker jo ikke. Det er jo dokumentert og bevist. Så det blir bare et høyere tilbakefall og mer bitre mennesker. So this is metal work.
And it's just, then you have a horrendous product. Then you believe, we didn't do it right the first time, let's punish them more. And let's make it even worse. Oh, okay. Because the first result was so good.
Look at this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's a professional garage.
This looks like something in a real dealership or something.
Yeah, this looks legit.
We have 2 officers working here and also a teacher. So you can get a diploma to be a car mechanic.
They can earn that here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this guy with no hair,
Okay.
he our teacher.
Okay.
And they can go out and get
A really good job when they leave.
work. Very good job.
A really good
contacts
job.
to get a job before they leave.
It's a very good job.
I know a lot of the inmates that I deal with on my housing unit are very art-driven, very art-oriented, and we really only have a couple outlets for them to express that. And being able to see that they have painting and woodworking and, you know, all these different skills, creating things, it's something that I oftentimes see the inmates that I work with asking for. You know, sitting around doing nothing all day doesn't motivate anybody. It's being able to have so many outlets to find that interest that motivates you to change. I think it's really therapeutic, and it's really awesome to see here just all the options that they have.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this we call criminal records. Yeah, music studio.
Pretty good.
There we go.
I'm completely blown away. We don't have anything to this caliber anywhere in our facility, let alone any other facility that I'm familiar with. The amount of detail, time, attention to everyone's needs. They're promoting such growth. They can take all of these skills with them to the community. I've never seen anything like this. They're seriously just creating such a strong foundation that these people can take with them home. It's wonderful.
We don't expect that they shall be big stars,
Of course not.
but they can get new interest,
Exactly.
get new friends. If you can play a guitar when you come out, the girlfriend, it's easy to get girlfriends.
Exactly. You know, right, we're broadening their horizons.
Yeah.
You giving them more opportunities to think.
And again, the interests are important because you want to move them
The
away from that
negative.
criminal behavior.
Exactly.
You want to find something else that interests them, and if this is it, they never knew. Now
Positive
they know.
redirection.
Yeah. This is the supermarket.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
This is a part of the normality principle. Have a shop where you can go once a week.
Normalcy, right.
Yeah.
I feel like this really drives home the whole normalcy aspect of what their philosophy is. When you come in here and you look around, like, my mind is blown. You have so many options, as if you were out in a small town, you know, on the outside of these walls. I don't feel like I'm in a prison right now. I feel like I'm in a small town.
The displays, the prices, the way everything's organized, it looks, you really took the normalcy from the street and brought it right in here. This is amazing.
See?
Do you see the fish?
That's what I was telling you.
I know.
Oh, fish.
We see it there. Inmates go out and they don't know what to do. Especially inmates have been there for a while. The world's changed. Going from 15, 20 years of going down to a window and picking up your food, or going down to a dining hall and picking up a tray, get out in the world. No one's going to do that for you. You got to go to a store and pick out your stuff. You got to know what you need to make, how to make it, and go to the store and pick it up. I mean, this is absolutely important.
And this would actually be a no-no where I'm from. That would actually be a no-no. Like, now that would be a little scary to just see an inmate walking up to you with that in his hand at home. That would be a little scary.
Quite
definitely.
a variety of items. Like, look all the way across this board.
So this is the wood workshop, and they make all kinds of things for the prison and for other people outside can order something, and the inmates will make it, and we sell it. Yeah, they make a lot of beautiful things.
Not comfortable. That is not comfortable. See that? Not comfortable at all. That is not comfortable. This is crazy.
They have tools everywhere. A power tool or a scissors. Either way, those are very dangerous to me. And for them, no one even bats an eye. You know, that's completely normal. Again, with the normalcy aspect. So it made me a little nervous, but it's something to get adjusted to.
The guys in our facility, we call it a lock and a sock. They'll put a lock, like a regular little padlock, in a sock and hit somebody with it. You don't need a lock and a sock with this. Like this.
Someone's head or whatever it might be, and they'll continuously hit them with it. They could put some of these in a sock or just take it and throw it at someone's head and crack their head open.
Never seen anything of the sort. Like, nothing.
And I just wanted to say that we think of it as the inmates are not dangerous in all settings.
Right.
They are dangerous in some
settings.
Some settings, maybe during influence of drugs, or maybe with their partner, or some are dangerous for kids, but they're not dangerous in all settings. And that is why there are knives and
The officer-inmate ratio, the dynamic security, the normalcy, the respect that the officer and the inmate has for one another, the education piece, like all the things that they do in Norway, it comes full circle when you talk about places like this and allowing their worst of the worst, so per se, into areas like this. It would have to be collectively everything that they do in order for you to be relaxed around this type of situation.
Even though this is a preventative detention center, they have a lot more preventative inmates here. The kitchen is still very similar to other kitchens at the other jails. Still got the fridge, still got the stove.
The governor made a big point that these people aren't dangerous in every setting, just in some settings. And I think that's important for us to remember, because I feel like at all times we do treat them like this is a bomb. It may go off at any minute. And that's really just not the case.
Hot stove, hot water. I don't know where they have their silverware. I mean, you have plenty of metal pans, glass, weapon, hot water, weapon, knives, wherever they are, weapons, obviously. You have chemicals, like a lot of times they're chemicals. They don't get chemicals inside their cells, so like even dish soap is considered contraband inside our facility. And here it's normal, it's a normal thing.
This place is built for the children of the inmates. Children of inmates, inmates that would have a long sentence here and would not be able to go out on a leave to see their children and have the contact up with them. So that's why we build this house.
This is so far extreme. I've never seen anything like it.
No.
You know, I don't know if I speak for everyone else here. I've never seen anything like this. And it's just, it's wow. It's huge.
You know, we believe that to have a life as an inmate should be as normal as possible.
Understood.
The punishment is actually like being here, being away from the society, and that you should go ahead in the progress, that you can come out with less damage than...
Gotcha.
Yeah, and try to get something good on the way.
Right.
This is so nice.
With my children don't see this.
Unbelievable.
I recognize the IKEA furniture. That's $69.
Mange fengsler vi bygger det, de har en modell for sikkerhet, det har en modell for logistikk, men det har ingen modell for utvikling. Og et fengsel det bygger jo på at folk skal utvikle seg i en positiv retning. Og alt man gjør der må liksom peke i den retningen. Så vi må investere i kriminalomsorg for å ha et trygt samfunn, og den tryggheten og tilliten som i samfunnet er også viktig for vår økonomiske fremtid. Det er et bærende element for Norge at man har den tilliten, og kriminalomsorgen er en viktig del der. Så det er en investering som faktisk har økonomiske konsekvenser.
Vi lægger ikke straf på straf. Man har fået en straf, man har fået taget sin frihed, og så arbejder vi meget med resocialisering, og vi arbejder med, at den dag, man kommer ud af fængslet, at der begår man ikke ny kriminalitet. Det er sådan set, det er mål for vores arbejde. Åbenhed, ansvar og normalisering, det er det handler om. Vi er på Endermark fængsel, som er en af de mest sikre fængsler i Norden. Og vi har de indsatte, som er de mest udfordrende indsatte i Danmark.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm Mary Rose. I'm the warden. Pleasure to meet you.
Same to you.
Yes. You're here from?
Yes.
You're here? How long are you here?
For 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in jail at 8. You're very young.
You know, I'm 32 now.
You have great skin.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Ja, altså, jeg røg ind som 22-årig og var ung, og jeg vil sige, at jeg blev meget mere moden og meget mere bevidst omkring mig selv som person, men også omkring livet som sådan. Og udover det får man en masse gode venskaber og bånd, på godt og ondt, kan man sige, ikke? Fordi der er en masse forskellige mennesker, man bare bliver sat sammen med. Men udover det har jeg egentlig selv rejst mig og selv arbejdet med mig selv og komme videre herfra.
So how much longer until you can go home?
1 year.
1 year?
If I'm lucky.
Okay. What do you have to do to be home in 1 year?
I have to finish my program here and just keep out of trouble.
Keep out of trouble? Yeah. Is that hard or is that easy here?
Very easy.
What makes it easy?
The people here are kind, and all the inmates in this apartment, or what we should call it, has made an agreement to each other to get the best out of it and not make trouble and problems with each other.
Would you want to come back?
In jail? No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Wow. This visual effects, I'm not incarcerated, but the visual is very stimulating. The trees, the green space, apartment-style living, a living room, lounge, kitchenette. Now I'm not angry. Yeah, I'm angry I'm in jail. But okay, I might be able to muster through this. And then I can focus on the programs, but it's the visual effect.
When you come here, you sign an agreement to say, yes, I want to work with myself, with my thoughts, with my feelings, with everything. See why I did what I do, why I end up here, and make a change and prepare yourself for the future. So I want to go back to the society again. So I have to make some changes, of course, because when I was outside, I could not play by the rules the society has put for us.
What I seem to notice is that the inmate population, it's been consistent, but especially here today, the inmate population, those I spoke with, all seem to own the fact that they did something wrong to put them in this situation. In other words, they don't blame the staff, even though those in uniform may remind them of law, the judge who sentenced me, but they don't blame the staff.
Yes. And here we are committed, and we have to
lift each other up.
Yes, of course. If you have problem, you come talk to me. We talk. We figure it out together, and we have a group room where we are 18 people in a horseshoe. We sit and talk 4 days a week. Talk about normally stuff from outside. how we disappoint our family, and then I feel like, okay, I disappoint them like this, and I try to fix it by calling them some more here,
Right.
and not just ask them for things. Talk to them. What are your problem? Put us in their place, you know.
That's beautiful, beautiful.
We have it good here. We have good. But it's our family who pay the price now because they have to miss us and they have to think about us, and, you know.
I think it's great that you guys realize that.
Yeah.
I commend you for your efforts, and I wish you the best of luck.
Yes, thank
you for sharing that with me.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Initially, you didn't know what to expect. You can look on YouTube, you can read a paper, or look at the book. But to come here and see this, it's amazing. It's amazing. It gets you more excited. To be quite frank, there's a sense of frustration, a sense of actual jealousy to some degree with how well they've done, because I've seen us in the department do some great things over my tenure. But I want to do just as well as they have done. So, irregardless of what I may have thought, which wasn't much, because I was open-minded, I didn't give it much. It's huge. It's bigger than what I thought it was.
The prison tours have given them an opportunity to start to get behind the walls and experience what goes on in these prisons. It's given them a chance to kind of compare what their experience has been up to this point in largely American facilities and look for the similarities and for the differences.
De begynte å se fellestrekk ved de stedene vi besøkte. En del av de grunnleggende prinsippene og verdiene tok de veldig fort, og begynte også veldig raskt å tenke, reflektere rundt, snakke seg imellom og med oss innimellom også hvordan dette kan brukes I Chester.
It's one thing to walk through a facility on one day and spend 1 hour looking at a cell block or hearing about the way that things are supposed to go. It's something very different to spend an extended period of time following a mentor officer, working the way that they work, doing the morning shifts, doing the afternoon shifts, doing mealtime, moving throughout the facility, really seeing what it means to be a part of that very different correctional culture. The kind of work of a correctional officer really looks like at the level that they function at their home institution.
They're a little big, but it'll work. It'll work. All right. Check these out.
All right, you're official at this point.
Okay, official.
Nikkelport.
Nikkelport. Do it again.
Nøkkelkort.
Nikkelport.
Nøkkelkort, ja.
Nikkelport.
En app-olje.
Nikkelport.
Man har jo hørt mye om det amerikanske fengselssystemet, at det uoversiktlig, at det lite personlig, at det lite relasjoner mellom ansatte og innsatte, at de innsatte mister rettighetene sine I det de havner I fengsel, noe vi veldig opptatt av at de fortsatt skal ha når de her.
You get locked out in the morning and you get locked in again at the night.
Okay.
The rest of the day, except when you are at work, you do whatever you want.
Who couldn't live with that?
Yeah.
For the time being.
Man må jo ha tro på at man kan gjøre en forskjell da, og gi folk en sjanse. Og tro på at folk kan forandre seg. I also do a lot of time here to sit and play chess or watch a movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow, okay. So Chester, we don't have anything like this. Not at all. Not where we could.
De ble litt sånn overveldet over ulikhetene. Og det som helt naturlig for oss jo ikke naturlig for dem I det hele tatt. Så det også å bli minnet på ting vi gjør som vi bare egentlig tar for gitt.
And may it, like you all come in to start the day with that togetherness, the plan for the day.
Jeg tror det tar lengre tid enn 2 uker for å få med seg alt det som trengs. Men, så vi må jo på en måte bare jobbe intenst da, egentlig, for å få gitt dem det vi mener viktig. This area is a part of their social training as well. And many of them maybe never have cooked their own meal before.
Right.
And when they come here, they can teach how to do that and Bring it on.
Relearn the basics.
Yes.
It's awesome. It really is. Basic skills. Again, things that we take for granted, the normalcy aspect in that.
Yeah.
It's such a contrast. You can see the difference. I mean, I'm sure you can see that when they reintegrate as well.
Okay, so here's the kitchen where they can prepare the food. And they can prepare food in the mornings, in the evenings, at lunchtime, if they're at the units.
In the mornings, the evenings, and lunchtime.
Yes, and we have...
I always felt like we kind of much babied them. We didn't actually give them the tools that they needed to survive on the outside. Mainly the things that we do. If they have to go to medical, we must tell them, you have to go to medical. We got to remind them. Or somebody has to call them, you got to go to medical. If they're supposed to go to school and they don't, you got to wake them up. If they got to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, you got to wake them up. Like at some point, they're men, they're grown men, they have to be responsible. And I think that we take that away from them, learning their responsibility because they're inside. Whereas the Norwegians still give them that responsibility because they're inside. Doesn't take away from the fact that you're an adult, that you should be able to do these things on your own. So I love that factor.
So we came onto the unit. That was something that really surprised me. Morning. How are you? Everything all right? We do count when we come on, so it's kind of like, I come on the unit and I announce myself and I yell, count time, I get up and it's like everybody has to be up, standing at their doors. So I did take note that they do things very differently here. It's very gentle and serene, and they kind of like knock on the door, open it up, the lights are out, and they go over and say, good morning, good morning. That part really stuck with me. Oh wow, but then I'm thinking, I get the rationale behind it. Who wouldn't want to be awakened in such a nice fashion? I guess it sets the tone for the rest of the day. You're going to be pleasant. If someone's yelling and you're like, oh, I have to hurry up and get up, you might, move through the rest of the day a little differently.
In the American correctional system, there's a very strong dividing line. There's a very us versus them mentality. And I'm not seeing that here. I was able to see a little bit of tension between officers and inmates at a couple times, but it was just passing. It's not something that really lingers, and it doesn't seem to be an ongoing problem. Most of the inmates that I talked to have been on the same page as the officers. And I think that right there, that respect and that relationship that you develop takes care of a lot of the security issues, because when you're invested in somebody, you don't want to do them harm. You don't want to have any problems. So I think the mutual respect and the compatibility is excellent here.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I messed up.
You should jump as much as you can to get airtime.
Okay, I see. So today, I was able to play some video games with one of those individuals from the solitary confinement unit. That's crazy. Like, to me, you don't sit down and play video games with an inmate.
You're already gonna beat me because I missed one of the jumps.
Yes. I will win. Can beat you easily in this.
Very competitive, and he was winning at first, but then I ended up coming back. He wants a rematch. It was fun, and I do think that's really, really good to do with some of these guys. A lot of these guys need that human interaction. A lot of these guys that are in here don't grow up with that human interaction, whether their parents died or they're with the wrong people or they were secluded their entire life.
That is the jump.
Every human needs some type of interaction.
It was, you got too far left.
Oh, and I hit the wall on the side.
Yes.
Ah.
You have to be careful.
Yeah. If I were to watch TV with an inmate in my jail, I'm fired. If I sit down and play cards with an inmate, I'm fired. If I talk too much to an inmate, I might be warned. But if someone's consistently talking to an inmate a lot, and we're getting closer or whatever, it can be considered fraternization for disciplinary actions. You know what I mean? So that's real different.
What, you're saying 5.92 isn't good?
No. If you're a beginner, it may be.
We don't have fish cakes at my job. These look delicious. They look great.
The food is normally good here.
I've heard. Yeah, good quality food. So you don't mind to eat with, you feel comfortable eating with them?
Yeah.
The staff? Okay. It wasn't a little strange at first? Was it a little strange at first?
No.
The dinner blew my mind. I felt like I was in a completely alternate universe. They sat down and shared this meal together. If you wanted to sit and eat at the table with them, you could. If you didn't want to, that was okay too. I thought that was really big because at that moment, I didn't feel like I'm superior to you or I'm in a position of authority over you. We were all just eating a meal, and it was really nice. I have never sat at a table to share a meal with someone who was on my unit.
No, would them attack you or something?
No, they focus more on professional distance, things like that. So we just don't get too close. Getting to know these individuals on a personal level can help you interact with them better. It can help you grow as a professional, them grow as an individual. And oftentimes the goal with preventative detention here specifically is to get them to move away from the actions that they were here for in the first place. So even though it goes against everything that I have put in my head to make me a better professional and non-biased, I think communication is going to be our biggest and best tool in all of this. And it's free. It's in our budget. We can handle it.
This is the strictest jail in Norway.
I've heard.
So it's we are I can tell him like a body with the guard. So this is my friend, liksom. But
Right.
he is working here. He is the law, and we have to do the best out of it.
But you don't feel like there's such a stark contrast, like
No.
he is the law and I am.
No,
Oh, well, that's nice. That's really nice to hear that.
no.
It is.
It's to be.
That makes me feel very optimistic.
The environment itself, the work environment, the support between the staff, fantastic. I haven't seen any arguments between staff or anything like that. Like it is really, really, really stressless.
I love my job. I love what I do. But the fact of the matter is, I'm 31. I just turned 31, so I'm past my I'm past my midlife expectancy. So that's scary. Like, have mercy. What can I do to not make myself have a guaranteed heart attack by the time I'm, 58 because of stress?
You must be the governor.
I am. You must be the superintendent.
Yes, I am. Pleasure to meet you, Mary Rosa.
Kenneth Gustafsson.
Pleasure.
Very welcome to Kumla Prison.
Thank you.
Ja, Kumla är ju en anstalt i Sverige i det vi kallar för säkerhetsklass 1, alltså högsta säkerhetsklass. Och traditionellt sett så har vi varit en anstalt för män med långa strafftider och grova brott, där man huvudsakligen då ska ha en risk för fritagning, rymning eller allvarlig misskötsamhet i någon form.
What does your staff call you? Do they call you governor or do they call you by your first name?
Oh, I don't know.
No, they call you Kenneth.
Do you have a preference? No, doesn't matter. De 12 åren som jag har varit chef så har jag liksom fokuserat väldigt mycket på personalen och få personalen med på banan och känna att de jobbar på ett bra ställe. En bra arbetsgivare som inte liksom leder i sig själv till hög personalomsättning och hög sjukfrånvaro och så.
It doesn't bother you if staff would call you by your first name or governor?
No one would say governor.
No one would say that.
We're not so formal,
Jag tycker att det är kul att motivera personalen, att försöka hitta vägar där de känner sig motiverade att fortsätta orka bedriva ett bra arbete. För det orkar du initialt, men det är tufft. Du får stå emot mycket irritation från intagna, och att orka hålla uppe den lågan, det är inte alltid så lätt.
Units and so on. Dessutom så är ju hög personalomsättning och hög sjukfrånvaro väldigt både kostsamma och dåliga för verksamheten. Så att kan man få ner de två siffrorna är det värt mycket. Sickness ratio 6%. How do you feel about that? It's a lot or it's not?
Not a lot.
No.
No.
No, I'm rather impressed.
För att liksom signalera att vi uppskattar den ansträngning som personalen gör under semestern så har vi en grillfest. Och vi har lite enda sådana små saker. Vi kan ha lite glassfest någon gång i samband med lunch och lite sånt där med någon glassmaskin. Det är små grejer som inte kostar något och knappt och inte betyder särskilt mycket egentligen då, men den sammantagna bilden under ett år när man har ett antal sådana små evenemang som får folk att le lite och lätta upp stämningen, det tror jag påverkar mycket.
The takeaway with Kumla is they love their staff, like the picnic, and there's just an overreaching sense of we're all on the same team. It's a flatter organization, and it's important that my staff feel good about themselves, and that leads into this cushion, this basic model of trust.
So the first thing I think, I'd like to hear how you felt when you put on your Norwegian mentor uniform and how that's different than you feel when you put on your regular uniform back at Chester. So who wants to pick up that one first?
When I get ready in the morning for Chester and I put on my uniform, it puts me in an authoritative state. It puts me in a state where I go in and I say, this is what needs to be done. You better do this, you better do that, you better have this, you better have that. Like, it was more relaxed, it was more comfortable.
I think this has just been an opportunity and an experience that we weren't able to comprehend coming into it. I think that this is more important than we realized, and this is an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. So I'm extremely happy and extremely fortunate to have been able to be a part of this, and I'm really looking forward to the next step in brainstorming and really figuring out how we want to adapt this to our facility.
I think we have a sense of the why things happen here, and now we have to think about the how for back at Chester. Yeah, Turquoise.
Yeah, I was just saying, before those physical things are put into place, we could carry on what we've learned and experienced here to the block. They're going to notice it right away. It might take a little while for them to catch on, but if we're continually doing that with each other and with them, it's infectious. They're going to fall in. They're going to fall in, and that will be noticed immediately. While we're working out the kinks with the other things, and maybe we won't get everything that we want, that's something major that we can implement right away.
We may not be able to duplicate everything, but we can certainly duplicate fundamental pieces of this project and make it successful.
Pretty much a lot of what I feel like needs to happen is communication. Communication, respect amongst the officers.
A lot of deep thinking went on today in terms of what could be utilized, what they saw, what things they would like to try and use at home to make things better.
Superintendent, what do you think?
So I'm writing right now in big letters the word trust, because that's what it comes down to. We have some very strict rules in terms of how we communicate with inmates and how we allow them in our personal area. And as one of the Norwegian colleagues said, it was, we can be personal, not private. I think that is a great term, because for us, we cannot be either. And so that approachability bar is really long. Like, you will not approach me. There's a certain distance you must stand. There's a certain way you must stand. There's a certain way you must have your hands. It can't be in your pockets. All of these things that are really counterintuitive to what our Norwegian colleagues do.
Okay, good people. This is the last day at Ila. I hope you had a good, nice day.
So I think that what I'm going to take back from this is the normalcy aspect, if we could bring that and translate that somehow for us. It's so damaging to take all hope away from a person. So if we could do anything to make people feel less hopeless while incarcerated, I think that would make a big change for us.
For me personally, the experience itself has been fantastic. Yeah, you know what I mean. One of the biggest things for me is coming into an environment where it's a lot less stressful, which equated into every day was fantastic. Like, it was extremely enjoyable. The openness by the staff. It might have moved a little bit more towards it's possible. I'm still skeptical about the entire thing, how the inmate's going to react, how the culture is going to work, to see if the recidivism rate drops after 2 years from people on this block. You know what I mean? I still got to see it in action for my skepticism to really change. Once I'm working on my block, that Scandinavian block, and seeing how the inmates react to it, if we have any issues, that's where a lot of skepticism is going to change.
So, good luck.
It's no secret or anything that, you know, folks for the most part are less apt to change. You know, when you're doing something for some time, it becomes habit, you become comfortable, it's routine. That's number one. So you don't want to change. Someone to bring you something new. Why have to change? I know what I'm doing. I can do this with my eyes closed. Now you want to do something else. Learn something new. But this is extra special in that we're asking our folks back home to not be what they've been for so long to be perceived as cops inside the walls, and to be counselors, to be coaches, to be mentors. As I view it, I see it works, but again, I can't be ignorant to the fact that I know a lot of folks who work for me and with me are going to have a hard time digesting that.
Have you tasted brown cheese? Say brown cheese. Brown cheese.
How y'all doing, fellas?
All right.
This will be the new little Scandinavian block. They came to me, and this is what they said to me. We want to do this, and I said, man, y'all must be out of your mind.